Greetings. Y'all are here with the one and only Denise Camille, the Urban Love Therapist, Self-Awareness Coach. And it's a special interview today. We have here with us Reference. He was guided through self and spirituality to want to have a dialogue in regards to his love life, dealing with that balance of both, right? So, everyone, welcome, Reference.
What's happening?
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, or?
I came here, I took her services. We all got to love life and balance in spirituality and reality, day-to-day life. So I definitely, did you explain what you do, first of all? I don't think you let them know.
So, as the Urban Love Therapist, I am counseling spirituality, right? I'm counseling couples, individuals with anxiety, and children 10 and up in the balance of healing, purpose, and learning, their perspectives of living, their knowledge of personal development, and their spiritual growth. So those are my services that I offer as the Urban Love Therapist.
I took her love therapist session, and she did a really good job on it, helped me be aware of a lot of things, questions to question myself, and she's asked some very critical questions we all need to know, and I feel like it'll help in regards to the people and regards to our journey when we are on our path with a significant other. So I felt like this was very well needed. We all need I thought it was cool, maybe get a little sneak peek into my life, and because I don't share it at all. And she does some good work. So, I'm gonna leave it all up to her. That's enough about me.
Well, again, I thank you for being a part of the Denise Camille experience and part of my podcast. So let's just dive into these questions, right? So I have a few questions I jotted down. That my mind works. It always seems to engulf into diving deeper. So question number one, what have you learned in your journey, in your relationship dealing with the heart chakra, both positive and negative?
As far as with the positive part, whenever you're doing the work, or whenever you're in a relationship, or whenever you're dealing with the past relationship, you first start off looking at what they call shadow work. And when you do your shadow work, you have to look back at your own darkness, look back at the things that you might have been going through. If you feel comfortable doing the reading, look back at the past of things you went through in your past lifetime in regards to shadow work, things you brought to this cycle to help clear up heart chakra work, things that deal with grief, things that deal with what you blame yourself for, things that deal with are you loving yourself? Do you love yourself? A lot of it deals with self. A lot of times we're in relationships and we don't think it's okay to be healing while in the relationship, but it is okay. If you feel like it's not okay, cool. Sometimes when you're dealing with the heart chakra, one of the positive things is also, you use these applications. For example, you can use color magic, wear the color green if that's the color of the chakra for you. Not only wear the color green, but find out the sounds that deals with the the heart chakra. So you could use mantra, you could use tantra. Sit back and you could use darkness meditation. I mean, sit in the dark and focus on and go through the situation. You reenact the situation. As you reenact the situation, it'll go through your subconscious mind and you clear it up. That's what it means. Go through your darkness and become the light. You can also do different forms of yoga that associates with the heart chakra. You can write things down, and that's part of doing the work. These things take time. You don't have to rush it. And just know some of the negative aspects is you're gonna go through symptoms. You might lash out. You might be frustrated. Every day ain't gonna be a sunshine day. So sometimes you're gonna be dealing with these things in a relationship, and sometimes you're gonna be dealing with things, before you get a relationship, it's gonna be rough. When you get into the shadow work, when they speaking on it, every time you see a picture of Jesus, he always pointing to the heart, or he always pointing to this. There's a reason for that. It's a gateway, it's a portal. And most of the time, you can access these things through dream world. And these are all very important whenever you get ready to get in a relationship. Some people don't take it that far, but it is that far. Some good information that I learned this from is by Brother Panic, and especially Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Lean Bay, Dr. Phil Valentine. These are elders. One of them has passed, but you could go back to these references because that's what I do. But these questions that she's asking is this particular question is important because this deals with it all. And one thing about it, when you're dealing with the heart chakra, you ultimately learn how to be humble to self. It's soul work. And like I said, it's okay to be. I had to learn that too. That it's okay to be going through these things and doing the work while you're with somebody. And if not, cool, you can be doing them by yourself. So know that you're gonna have symptoms, but there's applications that you can do. And with me, I might not have as much issues as far as the next person dealing with the heart chakra. But the main thing is to let go and bring out the God or goddess within yourself. So and then take a journal, write down a journal, get a journal, and write down these things, write down your progress, and try to apply, and you'll notice you'll feel lighter when you're doing the work. Make sure you focus on grief. What are you blaming yourself for? And make sure you try to speak to your significant other about the same thing. Y'all being balanced. So what is their love language as far as effective communication? So this so these are the things that I learned as far as some of the things you may go through as far as dealing with the heart chakra and its positive and negative aspects and symptoms. Those are some short references you could go to as far as that question.
Thank you for sharing. Let's get on to this next question, because I know you mentioned things that you've learned in your journey, right? What are some ways to attract the individual for you in your life through your journey?
The main thing is, for me, I believe we have many soulmates. I believe when you came to planet Earth, you was a reflection of many of self, and you split apart. So when you go across the world, or you go next door to the next state, you might meet a Chinese, significant other. You might meet a Japanese significant other. You might meet a Mexican significant other, or indigenous, brown, melanated, significant other. You might meet a native significant other, and they not no twin flame. They they your soulmates. However, they might not be your main one. So the best way to find the one for you is to be working on self. When you learn to ultimately love self, you have to fall in love with yourself first. That way you'll gravitate to your equal and opposite, so to speak. And they say opposites attract. Y'all might not be the same. It's not really supposed to be like that. Or y'all might be the same. But the more you fall in love with yourself, you'll find that you'll match that resonance or that frequency, and you'll pull her to you, or you'll pull him to you. And everybody ain't the same, and I don't judge, So of course for me, I'm just in the woman. So I would pull in that particular female. People say, well, what are you standing up here for? Reference? It ain't worked out. Da 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 da. It's not the point. The point is, when you learn to focus and love self, you'll meet that woman. You'll meet that guy. For some people, they might be in a poly relationship. For some females, they might attract the perfect female. For some guys, they might attract the perfect guy. What you need to understand is everybody here on this cycle on planet Earth a little different. It's not going to be the same when we're in different times. But once you fall in love with self and start working on self and letting go of any indiscrepancies or any insecurities about self, and stop looking. As soon as you stop looking, they'll pop up. They'll pop up. So that's my advice and answer to that question.
Thank you for sharing yet again. I know you mentioned a little bit about polygamy or the option of, right? So my next question kind of ties into that. What is the one thing that there are two in a relationship or three in a relationship, in your opinion, should do in regards to healing individually and strengthening their relationships? I know you mentioned tapping into self. What does that relationship look like for you?
I think the number one thing that they both should do individually first is energy work.
Okay.
They need to go to an energy healer. They need to go to somebody who can raise up the kundalini within them, and they need to go to someone who can tap into their chakra system and clear up trauma. They need to clear up some guys out here been tampered with. They've been touched the wrong way when they've been young and they ain't cleared up. Some trauma they hold in a sacral chakra and it's a blockage. Some guys, they might have been through a situation where they got an energy blockage in the throat chakra within that wheel. So relationship-wise, if they deal with an energy healer, they'll be able to take care of that for them. Or deal with someone who's into Qigong healing. But for both of them, when they go to get the energy work done, so if I got a problem with communication and speaking with my significant other, or, any of the sort, when you go to these particular individuals, they'll help remove that blockage, and they'll see the thought, the trauma, or what happened in the past that help deal with that. And then, the same thing with say, for instance, the female. She might have been tampered and touched in the wrong way. She might have been raped. She might have been molested. She might have been abused. So by her not only talking about it, but you got to understand, these emotions live in certain parts of the body. These emotions live in certain parts of your organ system. Anger is in the organ of liver. Fear lives in your kidneys. Grief lives in your heart. And we all know that the E is the prefix for energy, and the suffix is motion. So energy and motion. So if you ain't got your emotions intact, your mind is easily swayed. So if you both go into some type of a healing, not only as an individual, but for the both, then understand that you both getting work done as far as on the mind. You know, you tuning in your mind. Once your mind is straight, your mind is clear, not only you gonna be dealing on your own individual path, but it'll work out for the both of you, you know, because your mind will be more in sync. So definitely energy work from an individual that you could trust. One reference I got for that is a guy named Jay English. You can find him. He Atlanta based. You can find him on Instagram. He on Facebook too, as am I. I'm on Facebook and YouTube. But I would advise the two to get energy healing work done. Energy healing work done so you could clear that up within you two, and y'all find that you'll be more in sync, you'll be more clear, you'll be more lighter, you know. So those, you know, and like I said, if it's 3 of y'all, or 2 of y'all, whatever, it's all good, it's cool. Just make sure y'all get that done, the energy healing work to clear up y'all chakras, because you can't call yourself a god or a goddess if you still doing chakra work. That's what Brother Panic taught me. You know, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that answer. I really do. Moving on to the next question. What's a mentally fun activity that you can suggest or you've done with your partner to learn and to get to know each other in a more sexual way? Sensual.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Sensual.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So one of the things that I came across when I was incarcerated, I came up with a game called the Question Game, and all it is both significant others. Y'all get 2 notebooks, 2 journals, and 2 composition notebooks. And what you do is you write down questions in it. You know, it could go from what's your favorite color to what's your love language. You know, or it could go from, you know, what's traumatic issues that you've gone through that you feel might like reflect on a relationship. You know, you write these things down in a notebook to get to know your significant other, and y'all swap. You know, you ask questions, about 5 questions at a time. It's nothing that's like some homework or you must do. Is do it when you can, but don't go over a week. You know, try to do it within a designated time. Write down a few questions, and this will get the help. You know, because when people write down things, you find that they have most of their most intimate thoughts, right? Rather than just talking over a phone, and they might be busy, but if they make time to answer the questions, you know, in that particular format, you get to know the person and y'all swap. So when I got the notebook, I'll have my notebook about her. And when she got the notebook, she'll have the information about him. So when she go back, she could be studying her significant other, you know, and he could be studying his significant other. So I think it would be a good way to get to know each other in a different way and have like a little portfolio, you know. So, and I believe it's, I don't believe, I know that it's sacred. So that's a suggestion. I call it the Question Game. It's real inexpensive thing to do. Just go to the dollar store and get yourself, you know, a pen and a notebook, and y'all have fun. Have fun with it, getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. So, moving along, because I have these questions like running through my mind, right? So, what are some things you have actively participated in regards to relationships and breaking up relationships and in relationships that you fixed?
As far as so I've been in a relationship where you know, individual, she may have children, So sometimes I couldn't take the attitude or the type of, and it wasn't my kids, but sometimes I could have been more. I feel like I could have been more patient with, the individual I was dealing with at the time. I could have been more patient with her children, or I could have been more understanding, especially as a grandfather and a father. I feel like I should have had the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and patience to deal with that. So that might have had me leave being impatient with someone else's children, not wanting to deal with that. Not if you taking upon him or her, they got a squad or they got a little mini me, and you can't take them. You can't take baby's kids, but that's your fault. But at the same time, you got a decision. That's your decision. And I know sometimes in the past, when I look back, I contemplate on when I had just got incarcerated. I had zero tolerance for negativity and disrespect. So maybe I could have been more lenient when things happen, instead of just be like, yo, I'm gone. At the drop of a dime, when I get disrespected or I had that zero tolerance thing going on. I was like, I ain't playing that. You ain't finna call me this. I ain't finna be going through that. I'm not finna be tongue wrestling. I ain't no narcissist, but I ain't trying to control nothing, but I ain't finna have it. So I feel like I could have been more, non-zero tolerance. Also, it was an insecurity involved where I feel like if I didn't have enough money to bring to a situation, or I might have gave too much money, you learn from that. So money could be a big thing in a relationship, whether you're giving too much of it, you're giving too much of yourself and losing yourself within a relationship, or you feel like you don't have enough, so you might be insecure and leave. So that's a big thing. There could have been a better conversation from you, so that's working on your throat chakra, working from here, wear the color blue or something like that. I'm saying, to help with that, or learn the sounds of blue, but the conversation could have been different. And that deals with, I could have been more receptive and open to my significant other's communication love language, because everybody communicate differently within a relationship, whether they upset or happy or trying to relay something, and not talk over hurt, while regardless if I'm slight psychic or not, let her finish saying what she got to say, so I might have been like that. So you live and you learn, and there must be a lot of compromise. Definitely could have expressed more that there need to be more compromise. So if you don't speak up, or if you don't choose to fight for a relationship, it's gonna be over quick. And if you don't heal your old traumas, heal your own traumas before you jump into something if you feel like it's kind of severe and it'll interfere. And don't bring too much of your own fear to the situation unless, you may bring it down. You could be a good person, but if you got too much fear within you, that'll interfere with both of y'all's spirit, or her spirit or his spirit, without even knowing. So yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. And then going to what you were saying about your past relationships, my next question is, how did your relationship with self create healing with your past?
How did my relationship with self create healing with the past? Because, when you begin to love yourself, and I've spoken to someone when they explained the importance of past life regression. And sometimes you can get past life regression work done. I've spoken to an oracle before, and she helped me and talk to me about one of my past lives. So you get to know yourself beforehand. Um, and and hit me with that question one more time.
Sure.
Cause I like to go deep with it.
How did your relationship with self create healing with your past?
I did a lot of work also too, in regards to chakra work. Thankfully, with Brother Panic, I didn't have a lot of things in my past that I had to deal with, but I suggest to others, work on your childhood. I know it might seem real cliche because most therapists start there, but that's where it starts from. You gotta clear up any childhood things. Help me, when you a big child responsibly, then that'll help you be more effective in any type of relationship. Whether it be a friend or associate or any type of love relationship. So me contacting the child within helped with any type of healing. I say my biggest thing is I'm real serious, but that came from mostly when you step into spirituality and you learn what's going on. But I say when you learn to contact your child, the child within, then you can bring out, more happier you to a relationship, or relationship with self.
Okay, all right. In being referenced, that's who you are. Which style of learning do you relate to the best, whether it's audio, visual, or would you say it's both? That's a two-part question, so let's get this one answered first.
Both. I like audio. I like audio before I go to sleep because the subconscious mind will pick it up even when you fall asleep, and you'll still be learning. And I'm definitely visual because I love the imagination. I love creativity. So, both is really good for me.
Okay.
But it just might be at different times. And depending on what you're doing. If I'm at work and working outside and I want to learn about something, I'm gonna have it on audio in my ear. But at the same time, if I'm home on a laptop and sitting still, I would like to see pictures about, a diaphragm or anything like that to show me about what I'm learning.
Okay. So and I'm gonna improv this next question because it was going along with that one. In your learning style, you said you can learn from both audio and visual, right? Tapping into love first. How did you best learn love initially? Was it through audio or through visual?
I would say visual because I didn't have a mom and pops to teach me about. They wasn't that type. They was around. Pops wasn't like that, but Mom Dukes was. But they wasn't around to teach me about the aspects of love. And then, like I said, when I was incarcerated, I was like 21, 22, and I didn't get out till I was like 29. And a month later, I turned 30. So I bought a lot of books to help with learning. So I would say visual. I read a lot. And I spoke to a lot of elders who schooled me, and I spoke to a lot of different female family members, gave me advice, because the only really individual I was with, had one or two girlfriends after the separation of baby mama before I was incarcerated. But, when you're 21, 20, 22 years old, what you know about love, and I was into spirituality way back then. So ain't nothing had changed with me, but I was going through it severely. But what I'm saying is I had to go to books. I had to go to magazines and ear hustle what women was talking about and shit like that, that's how I had to do it. So taking up your services was good for me because You know, you don't learn it up. I don't understand why a woman would expect for a man to be a ready-made king. You know, they want a ready-made king, or a guy may want a ready-made queen. That's how you gonna do that? That's really rare. You know, they might have the qualities, but they ain't been through the experience. So for me, I didn't experience a lot of relationships. At the same time, I didn't have a lot of issues or problems like a lot of people would in relationships. I did, you know. So you got to be careful too. People try to project that onto you. But I didn't have them issues. But you know, you can't learn everything out of a book. So I had a lot of failed relationships. You know, so, but I learned from it, and you know, I believe I'm close to being at my best. You know, so I'm close. Not quite there, but I'm close.
Okay. So, when can you honestly say you could acknowledge your truth in love and spirituality, connecting the two together for self?
Yeah, it's a journey though. The connection is a journey, because that's how the journey comes to fruition. That's how the journey comes to its peak, when you connect and be in sync and synchronize with your doppelganger, they call, or your ancient double, or your shadow self, or AKA your soul. Fall in love with your soul. Fall in love with your ancient lover. You know, fall in love with it. You know, because it's yearning to be fused with you. You fall in love. You fall in love with that first. You be humble to yourself. Let go of your ego and fall in love with self. You know, and you'll find things. You'll find things about yourself to blossom in different areas you never even learned before. Because you know, you go further. You know, we have a body, a spirit, and a soul. You fall in love with your soul self. You know, it goes beyond the spirit. You know, it's a wonderful thing. So I would say, you know, fall in love with your true self, which is your soul. And your soul even has a name. And when you do find out, that's for anybody. Don't tell nobody. Because your soul can move mountains, literally. So, yeah, fall in love with your soul.
Okay, thank you for that. How did you choose, or how do you choose to express spirituality in your connection within a partnership, within having a relationship?
Well, you're an individual first. And once you understand that, even though in your relationship, you should be helping them seek their path too, fall in love with themselves more. That way y'all can start to love each other more on different levels that people wouldn't even understand. Ultimate synchronicity or ultimate resonance. You know, so when you doing that, they shine bright. They go through their darkness. If they have any, if they don't, y'all just gonna continue to go through different transformations, galactic transformations, interstellar transformations. You know, cosmic transformations, and y'all be to the point where y'all be in a connection more than just this dimensional realm, but outside the realm. You know, love will be an understatement. And this stuff don't take a lifetime. Sometimes it take a couple of weeks. The key to that is just letting go. You know, help each other work on each other. You know, as far as the journey to self. And y'all find that y'all will blossom. Y'all blossom like the sacred flower. You know.
Okay.
Yep. Water. Water.
I just have a few more questions. You know, those who know me, the dumbest question is the one you don't ask. So you have to ask yourself many questions, as I'm asking reference, right? So moving right along, how do you provide love in a language that best suits a healed, healthy relationship?
You got to find out each other's love language. That's what helps with that question game. Find out each other's love language, and find out how each other communicates. I might communicate through gifts. You might communicate through touch. So learn each other love language and respect that, because you might not communicate with gifts. I might not communicate through touch. But at the same time, you can help each other and accent each other in that areas. Work on it, tailor it. So you say, hey, I need this from you. You say, well, I need this. You might say, well, I need you to rub my back in the morning. And she'd be like, well, I need you to give me a booty rub. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So, and she might be like, well, my favorite candy Snickers. I'll be like, my favorite candy Butterfinger. Love language, you know what I'm saying? She said, well, I need someone to tell me I love you in the morning. You'll be like, well, I need somebody to tell me I love you in the middle of my work day. You know what I'm saying? So communicate what is each other's love language. And if you don't know it, sit back and figure it out. That's one good thing about that question game book, Don't bombard each other with a bunch of questions. Leave it short, like 5 at a time. Give each other a week to answer. Find out each other's love language so the communication can be effective. And there'll be a lot of compromise. You can respect each other as cosmic queens and cosmic gods, you know what I'm saying? So learn each other's love language, and whatever area you feel like you lack in as a love language, tailor it, build it up, become a blacksmith, work on it, and be patient with each other. Don't pray for patience, because you'll find yourself in situations that are going to be forced. So respect each other being, and learn each other's love language, and develop new ones, just for the spontaneous part of it,
Okay. So, I don't know if you were mentioned before yet. You spoke about this, and I wanted to kind of tap in a little bit and then kind of tailor it out. Yet, as far as being in a relationship with spirituality and love, I think you touched on it for a little bit about Tantra. So, why did you get into sexual Tantra?
Oh, you get tired of humping.
Oh.
You get tired of animal humping. What's her intentions? What's her intentions? What's her will in doing this? What's her true desire in doing this? And then I love the fact that, you can manifest or clear up things quicker and faster within yourself. You can actually heal each other organs. You can heal each other light. It's not just no porn. You're going way beyond the porn or the animal state. You get to a point in your spirituality where, you want to go beyond. This also helps with mental healing, physical healing, spiritual healing, soul work, and you get a connection, like no other. You get a union. You also learn a lot about you. You learn to make love, sexual tantra to yourself. You're making love to yourselves, your trinity. You receive channeling. You help increase your light, your psychic power. It's everything when you it's everything when you make a love to yourself, your spirit, and getting in contact with your soul. And then not only that, you can also use that application and realize the importance of when you doing it with a significant other who's open-minded. They closed-minded to it, cool, they ain't for them. But there's so many facets. You can find about 30 to 60 books on sexual tantra. So many different things. It's a lifelong journey. But the journey is to be in contact and to be in union, to heal, to reach heights. You can even travel worlds together. You can, they even got things called sexual kung fu, where you can be weaponized together, be a force. You can look that up too. I learned that from Bobby Hemingway, called Sexual Kung Fu, by the way. A lot of good books is from Montauk Chia. Also a lot of good information. You can look up www.draleemlbay, Him and his wife, Miss Kadira, got some good information. And wherever sexual tantra pulls you, start there. You can learn a lot about a person, their body parts. You can learn a lot about yourself. Studying the body parts will teach you about you and what you like. You'll learn dealing with sexual tantra where the different planets are inside your body. You'll learn that increases your powers. You can unlock your gifts, get you in a different mind state. And also you won't be watching porn no more or doing some basic acts to give away your energy looking at an image. It teaches you how to raise your kundalini in a healthy manner and to do amazing things. So it's so much with sexual tantra. You know, whenever in the past I asked to learn about my divine feminine, that's when my journey started. I said, well, I feel like I'm reaching a point in my divine masculine. I said I wanted to learn about the divine feminine within me, so that chromosome came out, that divine opposite came out, and I've been on a journey ever since, and I was led to sexual tantra. The sad part is that when I went to speak to a woman about it, she didn't know nothing about it. I couldn't find nobody. So I just went to the books. I went to practicing and applying, doing certain things. I'm no master, but I can't deal with a woman who ain't open-minded to it or do not want to participate, because that's just the frequency that I'm on, So and I'm just a baby in the game, but that's what I'm about, So I think it's something everyone should look into, because sexual tantra is them, and they are sexual tantra, both sexes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. Last but not least, to finish it off, what is your opinion for the lovers, where you would give advice that you can give to say what is the next step for them spiritually?
Again, fall in love with self.
Okay.
Because you're an individual first before you get into a relationship. And you don't have to put off getting into a relationship to get that done. It can be done while you're in the relationship. That might be a part of your cycle, might be a part of your journey. Fall in love with self, both of y'all. Learn to let go so it won't be a improper fusion where y'all come together. Sort of like on a movie Together. Whenever they drunk that water, or whenever they was in that atmosphere of the land, the ones who did that, they would come together physically, and their bodies would join in physically. I'm talking about, I won't tell a movie like that, but they would join together physically, and there was one couple that came together, and they looked like a zombie. They looked like a little monster. They were stuck together, but they didn't fully come in union. It was looked like Two-Face or Batman. You know what I'm saying? Because they were scared. They didn't let go and let love. They didn't let go of self. They didn't just die to self. They were supposed to die to each other. Just like they say, do death do its part. One of them try to kill themselves. You ain't gonna properly fuse like that. It's like with Dragon Ball Z, when they do the fusion dance. When they do the dance, they come together. They don't do the dance right, or if a finger be off, or anything be off. When they come together, if they not in sync, the fusion not gonna take place. You can find that in Dragon Ball Z, dealing with Vegeta and Goku. And when they fuse together, they call Vegito, or Go, excuse me, not Vegito, but Go Getter, it's something like that. They name even fused together. They became one properly because they did the dance. Or the dance could also be considered as the jade, or the jade could also be considered as the art of making love. So they made love properly mentally, up here first and made love properly in their heart because they let go. They didn't hold on. So once they let go, this particular couple, they fused into one being. So they no longer have to heal, it don't matter if they touch. You touch yourself physically. You can close your eyes and make love on a whole nother realm. And in that realm is no time. So that's the power of letting go. And being in union, like the Ankh. The Ankh symbolize that also. So when you take it to that next level and you really, really get there, and it might be lifelong, it could be some of the movies where you hear them say they swap bodies. And you're like, oh my God, I can hear you. Or, it'll get to a point in union when you're making love, you can hear your significant other's thoughts. You can feel how they feel. Sometimes there'll be a point where like your telepathy might increase. You could think of a banana and all of a sudden they'll bring you a banana. You can feel how they feel, you think what they're thinking. I would suggest the next thing is increase each other's light. Increase each other's light by doing things that help, learn your significant other's blood type. Meditate, not separately, but meditate together. Learn each other's birth chart to help you move along. Help each other to fulfill not only your human purpose, but your soul purpose in this life. Dr. Lean taught me 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Do your human purpose and do your soul purpose. That's really important. Man, it's a big thing. Help each other, work on each other. After you feel you get to a point where you loving each other, fall in love with each other, and fall in love with self, then y'all can be in that ultimate union. Then y'all be unstoppable. That's the means, and that's the means of a power couple. You definitely be unstoppable. And these are the things that I've learned in my I don't want to say failed the relationships no more. I want to say, because I learned my lessons. One or two times I had to go through the same cycle over and over again. Don't matter how spiritual I call myself, I still got work to do and still got things I need to do. And don't bring your fears to the table a lot of times, because it can interfere with y'all, what y'all got to do, what y'all going to do. Definitely look up the importance of correspondence between each other, and don't beat each other up about shit. So that's all I got about that one.
Okay, did I give you any heavy hitters? Did I give you any heavy hitter questions?
Yeah, all of them was heavy hitters.
No, then you coming at them. You're a good batter up. So that was all the questions I actually had for you. I would like the viewers and the followers to know, where can they find you? Like, what are your social media platforms?
I'm on YouTube at Reference. I'm on YouTube. My page is at Reference dash CHDV2, I believe. I'm also on Facebook. My name is Josh Stokes on Facebook. You can find me there, Josh Stokes on Facebook. But again, my YouTube page is at reference-CH2DV. I got a TikTok, but I don't really be, I'll put my information and stuff on TikTok. I'll be procrastinating, but I'm gonna get it together because I feel like this information is important. Not only, learn a little bit about my business, personal life, but maybe I can help somebody else's dealing, without talking about spirituality all the time. And techniques and stuff like that, but to combine it, because we all have human at the same time and going through our journey. And I think this might be an important questions and topics to raise. Mm-hmm. And that's where y'all can find me. But I also think they should take heed to your services, because it was a good session and you raised some good questions that helped me a lot for my future relationship, not only with self, but significant others. So, you know, I appreciate you, your services and all that.
Oh, my apologies.
It's all good. It's all good.
Again, thank you for coming on to the podcast. A special interview with reference here.
Yes, ma'am.
For those that are not aware, I am also a self-published author. I originally wrote Justice for the Caged Mind, a self-awareness series. This book is written in intimate soliloquy format where it expresses your day-to-day life, right? Your thoughts of how you get through, grow through, process, and reprogram the protons, neutrons, and electrons, right? We all know, we've heard the phrase, oh, little birdie told me something. Little birdie, and realize, oh wait, there really is a bird in our brain telling us these things. And it's having to tap into self-awareness, just like reference mentioned, that being aware of self, being aware of who you are, what your love and spirituality connection will bring for you and to you. It's all in alignment. Everything happens in divine time. That's one of my, it's not even a cliche word, it's how I live, right? Everything happens in divine time. Justice for the Caged Mind, y'all can definitely find that on my website, www.denise-camille.com, and that's DENIECE-CAMILLE.com. And my second most recent baby, BAM! I'm not doing Justice for the, no, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself again. No, I'm sorry, no. Urban Life and Love. How could they make me play? Okay. Urban Life and Love, 5 languages we speak. I know we talk about the 5 love languages that Gary Chapman has mentioned in his book, 5 Love Languages, yet as the urban love therapist counseling couples and individuals, both equally men and women, it taps into the 5 love languages of our childhood. Just like reference mentioned, our childhood is our reference point, our residual information, our referee, and it's no longer a place of residence, yet a lot of us tend to reside in the mindset of our childhood. So this book I consider like a community therapy book for those that want to commune with themselves in efforts to progress with the unity of others. This book, Urban Life with Love, is definitely that book. And after every chapter, it has questions to ask yourself. Who are you when nobody's watching? What is your love language screaming to you? Where do you value your worth? What were you resilient to in your childhood, in your upbringing? So definitely those can be purchased, supported. Donations are always accepted in regards to each one reach one. So, yes, I'm definitely grateful again. You hear the claps around us. It's a private interview, but yet grateful to have reference on with Denise Camille. Normal episodes of Dialogue. This has been a separate episode. I give thanks to my ancestors. I give thanks to those that have followed, continue to follow, and learn and grow and build upon. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. You know how we do in the community and how we do globally. I give thanks. You want to take care. Enjoy your day. Peace.